Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to use augmented reality to display a 3D model in real world environment for iOS in Expo React Native app. So let's get started. So firstly I will show you all the steps. So firstly you will have to go to this particular URL to decide on what template of Expo React Native app you want to download. So I will keep things simple. I will use this blank TypeScript template because I like it a lot. Like it does not have unnecessary boilerplate code. This default one has lot of boilerplate code which I don't really like. So I will use this template, but feel free to use any of this template. It doesn't really matter. So what I'll do is I'll just copy this particular command. Here you can see I'm passing this template as blank dash TypeScript. So change it to whatever you feel like. Then I will just run this particular command. And again it will take little bit of time because it will do some npm installation. It is asking me for my app name, so I'll just enter it as my app. Then what I'll do is that I'll just inside VS Code. Alright, so this step is still taking time, so it's fine. Next what I want to do is given that I want to write a native code for this, I will have to create iOS folder. Again, I don't have a device which supports augmented reality for Android. That's why I'm not making a tutorial on Android, but do support my channel. If I get enough money from YouTube, I might buy an Android phone which supports augmented reality. Anyways, and also the iPhone device which I'm using is my friend's iPhone device, it's not mine. So yeah, anyways, let's get going. So here next you will have to go to this particular URL to create the iOS folder. Here you can see we don't have the iOS folder for it, so I'll just open and I will go to this particular URL. So here I will select iOS device. Here we will have to select development build. Don't select Expo Go because we can't write native code in Expo Go. Then I will disable this EAS because I will build it locally. I don't want to build it in cloud. Then I have already done installation of Xcode, command line tools and everything, so I don't have to do this again. So I'll just copy this particular command and I will cd to my app, and I will sorry, it hasn't got copied, so I'll just copy it and I will paste it over here. So here you can see I have just pasted this particular command of npm expo install expo dev client. Again, this will take little bit of time to install the dev client for us. Next what we will have to do is we'll have to run this particular command. So this will actually create the iOS folder for us, also generate the CocoaPod for us. So I'll just copy this, and here you can see this, the previous command has finished. I'll run this particular command. Now it will ask me for the bundle identifier. I'll keep it as it is, but typically the bundle identifier is com.your-company-name.your-app name. So if you want, you can change that. Now this will take a lot of time, so be patient. In the meantime, I want to show you few other things. So firstly, we'll have to go to this particular documentation to create an Expo module. So I'll go over here, and here you can see they have given this command. Now I will wait for the previous step to complete, like this CocoaPod installation. In the meantime, what I will show you is here you can see that I have created this second, and this is the practice project which I had created. I will be copying a lot of code from this practice project, but I will explain it to you as much as I can. Don't worry too much about it. First thing is I will open this app.tsx from my practice project. I will go to this particular URL because from this particular URL we will have to download the 3D models which we want to show in augmented reality or in real world. So I'll just go to this particular URL. Now for iOS, the 3D models which Apple expects is in UHDZ format. Now I don't know how to create 3D models, so I will just download predefined 3D models. There are other 3D websites as well. I would recommend only download models which are in UHDZ format. There are different format for 3D models like GLTF, FBX, OBJ. They are not directly supported by iOS or the RealityKit framework which we will be using. It's possible to convert them to UHDZ, but again that takes a lot of time which I don't want to go into. So here you can see, so these are reality files. Don't download this. Like we can show reality files as well from the code which I am doing. Maybe I'll show you that as well, because reality files are basically like complete scenes. You can create complete environment like a complete game with reality files, but again I don't want to go into that because it contains animations and all that stuff. Just scroll down and basically here you can see these are 3D models which we have. So I will just download this one, download any one of this. Okay, it's up to you. I will download this one as well. So yeah, so just download these two. Let's see how much. Okay, so the CocoaPods installation is still happening. So I will once this CocoaPod installation is done, I will come back. Okay, so my CocoaPod installation is done and it is asking me to run it on my simulator, but again, like we can't run this on a simulator, we will have to run it on a real device. I will connect my real device later on. There is no point it running it right now because we haven't written any code. So I will just do Ctrl+C to move this. Now we will go to this particular documentation to create our native module. So I'll just copy this and again I'll go to terminal and paste it over here. So this will create a native module for us. It will ask us few questions. I'll just click on enter. I'll keep everything as default. So enter. So again it will download npm stuff, and yeah, then we have to copy this command. So it will again need to create this pod install for us. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. Again this will take little bit of time, so be patient. Next what we will have to do is so firstly how to use it. So open your app.tsx. okay, I will just open it in right hand side. So this is my practice project. So you to import your module, you will have to use something like this. Okay, I will just copy it. Next thing is I will remove this text because I don't want this text. I'll remove it. Next, how to use it. So this is our module view. So because when I was creating the native module, I have named it as my module view, right? That's why I have used this particular name. Whatever name you have used or named, use that particular name over here as well. So I'll just copy this particular name and I'll paste it. Now firstly I want the this particular module view will contain the augmented reality scene, and it needs to occupy the entire width and height of the screen. So for that I'm using this use Windows dimension hook. Okay, I'll paste it over here and I'll just import it as well. I'll just remove this now. Okay, I'll just move it over here so you get a better clarity. So here you can see I have use Windows dimension. Now this is throwing us an error. That's fine. Now you might be wondering what this is. So this is the name of the file which we have downloaded it from the website, Apple's website, the 3D model. So if you see the name, so here you can see the name. So these are the two files which I downloaded, right? Sneaker _ Air Force and toy _ plane _ idle.usdz. So as you can see I am using this particular file name. So whatever is your file name, paste it over here. Next what we will have to do is you will have to go over here, go to modules. Hopefully my pod installation is done. Okay, then I will have to go to src. Here I will have to go to my modules.types.ts, and given that we were getting this error, we have to add view props over here. Now for this, again, just to be extremely sure, I will just go to my practice project. I'll go to iOS and sorry, not iOS, src. I'll just open this and here I will just copy this and I'll paste it over here. So this is the view props which is required to add styling. So here I have added it. We have imported it from React Native. Also this name prop is present by default. That's why I'm using it over here. In case if you decide to change it later on, something different over here, make sure you change the name over here as well. And here you can see now the error has disappeared for style. Alright, so the next step which we have to do is we will have to go to the iOS folder of our project. So I'll just go to my app, iOS, and you will have to double click the XE workspace folder. It will open it in Xcode. In the meantime, given that it will again take little bit of time, I will again open my practice project, and here I will open few files. I need this as well as I need this. I'll just open this too. Okay, so hopefully our Xcode is still taking a little bit of time. So anyways, like you don't have to write the code in Xcode, you can write it in VS Code as well. So I'll just quickly show it to you in VS Code. So firstly you will have to go to your my modules module, go to iOS, and here firstly we'll have to open this my module.swift file. Again, I'll just go to my practice project and I'll just copy paste all this. I'll copy paste this entire thing. So here inside our real project we'll have to scroll down, and here instead of this particular code I will replace it with my code. So here what we are basically doing is that we will get the name prop from React Native side. This is our my module view, which I will show you shortly. This is the name prop, right? And here inside my module view I will define one more variable called name. If it is not equal to the name which we are sending, then only assign it to this name variable and then display the so we have to define this display method as well inside my module view, which I will create shortly, because if you are sending the same name again and again, we don't want to re-render our native view, right, to cause performance issues. That's why I've added this if check. Next I'll just close this, I'll close this, then we'll have to go to this my module view. So I have opened it over here. You will see something like this. So firstly we will have to import ARKit, RealityKit and combine. So I have imported all three of this. Then this is the name variable, where we will get the name of the 3D model which we are using. Then to display and augmented reality view, we have to use something called AR view. Just like in iOS, native iOS, we have UI label, or in React Native we have text or touchable opacity. Same thing, we have an AR view. So I'll explain it to you, the entire code. I'll just copy it for now. So basically here we are creating an AR view. The frame is 0 by default. I mean, later on I will change the frame to occupy the entire width and height. Camera mode is AR, which is augmented reality. Automatically configure session true. Then here we are doing AR world tracking configuration. Plane detection is horizontal and vertical. Environmental texturing is automatic. And here we do AR world tracking configuration dot support screen reconstruction dot mesh. Even I am not really sure what this is. And then we are running on configuration and returning our view. Then we are making use of combine because we want to load the 3D model asynchronously. So that's what this any cancelable is. So just copy paste it. We don't really have to understand it. So I'll just paste it over here. Next we have to override this particular method. This is in the Expo documentation. If you want, you can go through it. So basically what we are doing is that we are, whatever is the parent view, Expo view, we are adding AR view as a child to it. Then we just override this as well to so that our AR views frame occupy the entire width and height, whatever we have sent it from React Native side. Okay, so this is done as well. Next we have to, so like I told you, we will be creating a display method, and I will just copy this display method and I will let you know what exactly it does. Basically it is for 3D model loading. So here we just load our 3D model asynchronously. This is the same name which we pass it from React Native side, and in case of any error we will come over here. If the model is loaded properly, we create a model entity, add it to our parent entity, then we create a plane horizontal, give it some name, then add the parent entity to an anchor. Then we just add our anchor to AR view scene, and here we generate collision shape, and here we add the translation rotation scale property to our 3D model. Like even I don't understand all this, so I've just copy pasted it. So basically at the last line I understood, like we want the 3D model to translate, rotate and scale. Yeah, rest if you want you can check the documentation. Okay, so this code is done. Now what we will have to do is we will have to inside Xcode. So I have already opened Xcode. Go to your app, go over here, and here you will have to drag and drop the 3D model which we have downloaded, right? So I'll just take these two 3D models and I will drag them over here. And now this I'm using like this Xcode 16, I guess. That's why it is showing something like this. You might get a different UI, but make sure you check this target options. This is really important. So I'm using like Xcode 16, iOS 18. No, sorry, I think it is iOS 16, Xcode 18, something like that. Like even I get confused. But whatever is the latest Xcode which was released on 16th September 2024, I am using that. Let me quickly check what is the Xcode version. Yeah, Xcode 16. iOS version is 18. Okay, so yeah, I have added this too. So if you are using any 3D model, you will have to use that. I also, yeah, one more thing which we have to do is we'll have to go to info, and here we will have to add camera permission. So I'll just click on this plus button, scroll down, and here you will see this camera usage description, permission in privacy. Here you have to give a reason why you need this permission to use AR. Okay, give it some proper reasoning. Now what I'll do is I'll run this on a real device. In case if there is any errors, I will come back and let you know about that. Model from Expo. I will so here you can see I'm able to place my model. Make sure you have proper lighting in your environment, otherwise it will take a lot of time to place your model. So here you can see I can scale, rotate and translate as well. So hopefully you got the point. Now you can do the same thing with the shoe model as well. One thing which I want to tell you is that for some reason hot reloading and hot fast refresh is not working. So if you change the model name to the shoe, the sneaker one, make sure you rerun your application, because I think this is fine, because fast refresh is only for development purposes. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.